What's up, everybody? It's That Anime Show. I'm Terri Doty with
J. Michael Tatum.
And today our guest is the lovely,
beautiful,
awesome,
talented
Cynthia Cranz.
Who's now looking at us like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
What are you guys doing?
Talking about you,
Blushing.
love.
Oh my.
She's not blushing. She's really just sitting there with her arms folded looking at us going, what
Why
the
the
fuck is
hell
wrong
did I
with you
do
people?
this?
Why? She's having second thoughts.
Right. It's so
We love
horrible.
you. We've been very excited about having you
I'm
on
happy
because you're
to
one of our
be
favorite
here.
people. We love you.
Woo.
You always brighten a room.
Aww.
It's true. Like just now. Like
You
the
do
room has
actually.
gotten a little brighter.
It's a little
You're
weird
luminescent. You're weird.
how that happens.
You're radiating.
I know. It has nothing to do with the sun coming out from behind that cloud. It's like, oh.
How have you been?
Fantastic.
Good, good.
All right, so we're done.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us in the
Thanks,
studio
y'all.
tonight. We appreciate it. See you next time.
I've had Cynthia in on a new show that I'm working on, and we've been making fun of a lot of stuff. We've been making do that. Oh my God, your tiles are flat and junk. It's that. Did I do that? And she does it so well.
I
my
love to do it. Can you do it for me?
Oh my God. Did I do that? Here, let me get out my cellular.
Call your wrecker.
I love her.
Oh wait,
Oh, I don't have one.
Oh, I don't have a cellular because I'm a pothole.
So.
So,
okay, bye.
I love her.
So we've been doing that, and then Jane Seymour, that open heart.
Open heart.
My mother always said,
My character
Keep
on
your
the show
heart
has open heart earrings.
Oh, those commercials are so.
Open
Like,
"Yeah, I'm just
my mother said, "Leave your heart open and love will find a way." And
That's what I was doing."
it's all like,
So now, all right, we're going to come in for this again. I don't know why, but it's just me. We get very distracted.
What actress
very
is that?
easily.
That does
Jane
that?
Seymour.
Because she did
Dr. Quinn.
Dr. Quinn, yeah, Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, and not much else.
My
As I
favorite
recall, right,
movie
actually?
I saw when I had not the mumps, when I had, was it you get the kissing disease that I didn't even get from kissing?
Mono?
Yeah,
I got mono in high
Herpes?
school. No, not that one. Mono.
but I don't know if it. Well,
And I had to lay
could
on
be
the
kissing
couch for
disease.
like a month, and at some weird hour, watching TV, I saw Somewhere in Time, and I loved her in that.
That's that Christopher Reeve movie, right? Where he like
It's the
hypnotizes
only
himself
movie
into
he
going
looks
back
hot
into time.
in. Yes, it's so
Yeah.
cheesy, and I
And
loved
it's
it
in
so
the
much.
title, Time.
Like
Yeah.
Funimation.
But oh my god,
Fun.
okay, I'm having a flood of memories now because there's like a famous Rachmaninoff piano piece that keeps coming up in the whole
I love
thing,
it.
right?
Yes,
it's
I
Rhapsody
bought.
on a Theme of Paganini,
I don't know
isn't
the
it?
name
It's like
of
the big
it. I
thing.
bought the soundtrack because the music makes me weep. It's probably why I even like the stupid movie.
That one, yeah, that's part of Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini, which I freaking love.
You're a
that
music.
piece.
You were a music major.
No, I studied music, but I never finished. But
My husband too.
I
He
never
played
actually
violin.
graduated.
He went in on a music scholarship and then decided I'm never going to make any money. It's too hard.
That's kind of what
I'm
happened to
gonna
me. It's like
switch.
I wanted to be a recital pianist, and then once I got to conservatory, I was like, no, I don't. This is gonna be really hard to try to make a living because it's like, especially if you're a pianist, because you have to think like. If you're a string player, like if you're, like, say, you're a violin player, or viola, or cellist, or a horn player, something like that, where they have more than one of in an orchestra, you've got better chances than a pianist. Because, like, a pianist sticks with an orchestra usually
true.
and stays there for years.
Well, there's
and
a Tales
that
from the
chair
Crypt
never
episode right
opens
there.
up.
Just kill him.
His thing was his deciding factor was he was doing some concert at a big church, and one of the best, they had their guest violinist was one of the best he'd ever worked with. He was in awe of, and he found out that guy made no money at all. He's like, I'll never be as good as him.
Yeah, musicians make very little money. I had dreams of being like a circuit, like a recital pianist. Like I was going to go around the country, and I'm like, oh wait, that's not really popular anymore. It really isn't. Like there's still some that do it, but not.
It's kind of like tap dancing. It's the only kind of dancing I could do. But it's
Really?
not. I have torn ligaments, one in each knee. I can't do much of
So
anything.
you did some serious tap dancing.
No, I can't do much other kind of dancing.
Okay. I thought there was a story there. Like one day you and like Gregory Hines got like a face off and you tore ligaments or something.
That would have no. I was mud wrestling in college. I was doing. It was a mud volleyball tournament for charity, and this big big old hoss of a girl was trying to get me muddy because I started a mud fight and then I didn't get muddy and my foot was planted and I twisted, but I apparently flanked her because I used to goat tie when I was a kid. And I remembered my flanking skills. And then
It's just instinct.
So I flanked her ass and
You never
then
forget
turned
that.
abruptly and tore my ligaments.
Ow.
See, but that's the way to do it.
That's a much better story than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Actually. Yeah, because I was
I think it's
thought it was going to be a really lame tap dancing
It is,
story.
No.
No, it was a mud wrestling story. Like you got to work mud wrestling.
But you
in
said
there.
it all nonchalant. That's like, yeah, no, it's this hoss of a woman. I'm not saying no, you don't. No,
She was
but yes,
strong. She was a big, strong girl.
Oh yeah, she played football.
She probably did.
Did you at least take her down? I mean, like.
Yeah, I got her from up to down, and then she was
Nice.
laying on my foot, and she was trying to pull me down, and I turned, and my knee didn't. So,
Okay. Oh.
the horror.
Hyperextension.
But you made it.
Yes.
Bah. I cannot tap
No
dance
mud-
or mud wrestle, really.
The best.
So I'm in awe.
I can't go there.
Why?
I love that. Well,
Never mind. Come on, speak. Can't you speak in coded terms? No names, no dates.
no.
Give any body parts necessary a nickname.
No, I can't. I don't know if you might take it out, but it was just funny because I had to be my whole last month in college up to here in a knee brace, and I still learned how to have sex with a knee brace. I'm like, that's not gonna slow me down. Are you kidding me?
If anything, yes.
Oh,
You were at an
you're like,
advantage by the time it healed.
I'm like, we'll find a way around this.
Like, look,
And-
you've got a place to put your drink now. Just use it.
You got a place to put your. Attach a little koozie.
Just here. Look, we'll hot glue a little coaster on there.
Why on the
coaster.
inside of the leg?
Huh?
Wouldn't it be? No,
Well,
no,
it
no,
just
no.
depends
I don't
on-
want to tell you how to live your life.
So bossy.
Well, I never
Oh my
ran
God.
into that, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Well, never fear. If you're ever in a leg brace, you can still do it.
I'm
do
sure,
it.
I'm sure certain people. I'm
Right.
sure you're among them. I'm sure I'm among them. Could find a way to have sex if I was in a body brace. Like if I was completely paralyzed and like plastered from head to toe, like some Three Stooges episode, I could probably still find a way. Like, hey, go grab that bone saw.
Why are you guys all talking like this whenever you're talking about having sex?
Because
know.
it's
Because
sexy.
it's seedy.
This voice is, because it's kind of sleazy. It's like, hey, I want you and the other girls to wrestle in cream corn. It'll be hot. Because I think of Brian Massey now every time I have this
Brian
conversation.
Massey doesn't talk like that.
He does in my head.
What do you call that character?
What do I call that character? I don't
Yeah.
know. I've never given him a name,
You
but I always
should.
picture like an overweight,
Hysterical.
grizzled,
Poorly.
Totally.
you know,
Poorly.
like sort of,
Poorly.
yeah, you know, with like with the cheap cigar, half smoked,
and the
hanging
hat,
off
the
his
doi-
lips,
the doiby?
with the doiby.
The
Doiby hat or the
Doiby.
fedora? More the fedora. Because
Fedora.
Doibies, they went out of
You're right.
style
Those are-
back
those
in
are
like, the
fancier
days. I
anyway.
mean, I wear them now, but they're not sleazy. They're classy. Fedoras, on the other hand, you know, you got this beaten fedora and you got the cigar
I'm about
going
to
on.
fucking stab you right in the goddamn eye.
There you go, and like a butterfly knife.
Yeah.
Like
No,
hanging
it's
out in
not
his
a
waistcoat
butterfly
pocket.
knife.
No, what would it be? Like a
What's
Bowie
the
knife?
chick version of a fedora?
A fedora? A fedoro.
Fedoro. They kind of mixed up the gender conjugates there.
A fedora.
A hat. Fedora with a fucking feather in it.
Well, a fedora does have a feather in it.
It does, indeed.
So,
Do they always have feathers? Is that what makes them a fedora? Because I've seen
I don't
fedoras
know.
without.
Google it.
I'll Wikipedia it. There way. That's reliable.
I saw this awesome. I went to the movies last night and I saw Nightmare on Elm Street. But I always go to the Dollar Theater.
Fedoras.
No. Well, I thought like Freddy Krueger, so that was what brought me to it. But we go to the Dollar Theater, which you kind of have to lower your standards a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And there's this woman that's in front of me talking to this couple. I figure she knows these people, but then it's apparent once they leave and she stays in front of us to get her tickets. People are a little slow because instead of going around, like when the line gets so long that it's about to hit the curb, you do a little turn to keep. No, these people just started a line that went to the street.
No.
Which was
We're
very weird.
jamming up the traffic.
No, Steve and I were the only ones that went whip, and everyone else went no.
No, this line will be back.
So they restrained the line after us, which is weird.
That's so weird.
But no, this woman goes, all
Just
right.
a little kink.
And this woman goes, okay. Like to the cashier who he's like, I work at a Dollar Theater. Leave me, please. Just leave me
Just
alone.
tell me what
She
movie
went,
you want.
okay. What's that new one that you just got? And it's the backup plan because this is Dollar Theater. So this is right before they're about to hit DVD. And she went, yeah, backup plan. And what's the other one? And he's like, other what, ma'am? She's like, the other like romance movie. He's
Oh
like,
my god, people do
date
this
movie.
in line for a theater?
date movie, I guess. And she
It's
goes,
not like
and she
ordering-
turned around to the whole huge crowd of people, including me and Steven, who are directly behind her. Which one, y'all?
Oh my gosh.
And Steven and I go, and this other dude goes, I don't know. And she goes,
No.
with her nails
way,
at,
No way.
Oh my god.
and
That's,
I did like the, and she goes,
God.
backup plan date movie, backup plan date
No
movie. And I just
way.
went, just
it's a dollar show! Go to both!
go to,
Here's another
Go
dollar!
back and forth.
no, she went, okay,
God
backup
damn it.
plan, I guess. And then, like, immediately they're like, hi, how's it going? And we're like, never on else rate, too. Like, okay, that'll be, fine, fine.
God, take it, take it. Just let me there. Just open the door. Go to the door.
Oh, but yeah, no, and then she was talking to the guy who took the tickets. And,
Oh
and
my
I just walked
gosh.
around her. I'm like, please take these. She's like,
She's lonely.
Well, I'm like, oh.
And there's a reason.
You know, it's whatever. But yeah, the movie itself wasn't terrible. But it's funny.
Or the
What scares me doesn't scare like normal people. It's like noises that I'm just like, and like a phone rang and I went, ah, like that. Yeah, no, the guy getting like stabbed through the chest. Yeah, I'm like,
Well, you know
ooh,
it's
cool.
coming.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to be pretty cinematically illiterate to like be scared. Like to be surprised by what
Noises,
comes.
though, are a trigger for me. I'm hypersensitive.
Yeah,
Well,
the
Steven
boom
and I-
moments are always, but when there's music coming, you're like, something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna get stabbed.
well, see,
I
no,
have to
like,
do
Okay,
this.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
to
the
do
guy who
this.
played Freddy in this Jackie or Jake something. He was a bunch of other stuff. But anyways, no, like I'm like, oh look, it's April from the original Ninja Turtles. Steven's like Miss Foley. I'm like, but no, of course it was a Dollar Theater again, so people's phones were going off, and this one kid just stood up in front of us like the entire movie, was just watching it, and I went like, sit down, please sit down. This is making me so nervous. Please sit down. Sit down.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and he sat down, but.
Oh god!
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that's my. It just kept laughing, going back to
going
that.
to-
Which one, y'all?
That's really funny. That's an annoying way to order ice cream.
What do
alone
I
movie.
want? 31
What do I
flavors.
want? What's good? Is the chocolate good? Like that's my
What's
big pet
good?
peeve is getting behind people in line.
Chocolate
at, like,
and
a
Dutch
restaurant.
chocolate. Chocolate.
Like there used to be this. There used to be this
Oh, and
restaurant.
Rocky Road.
Any cafeteria style restaurant where you have to go up there and like order your food and bring it to your own table, which is
Yes.
fine. But people that get in front of you that have to ask 100 questions about
Or
the food.
even sometimes you have a bad feeling in the drive-through behind a car. You're like, I knew it, and you
I
can
should've
just
just
see
gone
them
in.
ordering. I want 12 Big Macs and 5 double cheeseburgers and 13 French fries and
or
One without onions, one without pickles.
And you're like, I'm
Yeah.
running late, and my blood sugar's
like my
about
blood
to
sugar's
crash.
low.
Oh my god!
I love that, and I think people that order special stuff at a drive-through should just stop
Just go in.
because
suck
it's
it
on
up.
the if it doesn't come the way you want it, go somewhere else.
Make it. Make
Like,
it at home.
or make it at home, or be like, here's an idea. You could just take this shit off. You don't
Because
want.
what I really want is
Yourself.
I want a quarter, and I haven't ever ordered it because it's rude. I want a quarter pounder, but I want the Big Mac fixins on that burger. I don't like the big fat thing that's only this big around.
But that's okay. But that's legit. Like
I've
you're
never
just
done
like,
that, though,
It's not
because
like
I thought that would
It's
be
not like okay.
how
I
it
want a
goes.
Big Mac, but instead of like 2 patties of meat, can you give me 1 patty of meat and 1 chicken breast? And and then I would like
Side salad because I'm trying to watch it.
I'd like a side salad, please, but could you actually put it in a fry container because that makes it easier to eat on the go?
Yeah, just-
And instead of a drink, could I have like a milkshake, but not like a milkshake, but like just like ice cream, like to
half
make
ice
the
cream,
milkshake.
half, like Frappuccino.
Yeah, could you actually make me a Coke float? And that's when you're like, dude, you're in the fucking drive-thru to McDonald's.
I thought you were going to be like, dude, this First National Bank. Come on. Come on.
Dude, the most you're going to get is a balloon with the logo on it and some chiclets.
Would you like a
Go
print?
away.
I don't even get that at my bank.
I remember being a little kid and my
Love
mom used to go through the
chiclets.
drive-thru and they always used to give us chiclets.
I
If they saw that a
remember-
kid was in the car with the mom or dad, they'd give you chiclets and a little balloon.
That's great.
With
They
the
was
Bank
doing
One logo on
lollipops.
it.
Yes, lollipops at the old filling station where I thought my mother suddenly developed a lisp only when it came to gasoline because she'd pull in and go, Ethel, please. And I just was like, Ethel. It just sounded awkward and awful, but I got a lollipop.
Ethel. Ethelene.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, okay.
Are you passing those off?
We have
Well, so Tatum can look at them too.
Questions?
We've already gotten a few
Where are you?
questions.
While I'm looking, you make conversation, so...
Conversate.
Cynthia,
Yes, ma'am.
if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
I would be a weeping yopon.
Totally.
That's a very specific tree. Why
She's
that?
thought about this.
I
I'd
loved
be a
it.
weeping
No, I
yopon
haven't.
on a
'cause
cliffside in Dover during the rainy season. That's hilarious. I love that. Most people are like, I'd be an oak tree, I'd be a willow. But you're like, I would be actually a sycamore willow hybrid growing right on the border between Waxahachie. And you're like, there's a very specific tree I visited that I want to be. Because that tree has a life that I envy.
Well, I learned a long time ago, because I met you while I was interning with Evans, like doing like big wind up. Actually, first thing I met you on, it was like a Case Closed movie when you were doing Mitch or something.
Was that even before our Wallace session with Joel, where I came in late? and you
Oh
were
no,
like,
that was after that.
It was?
That was the first time we met. Yeah,
Yes.
it was when we were doing a Walla.
Yeah,
And
that's the first time because I remember you the look on your face. You may not want to go in there. He's already starting.
like, you may not want to. You're like, no,
He needs
I'm
to
going
know.
in.
He needs to know I'm here.
But no, we had some very random conversations to the point where Bevins is like, "We're recording." Oh my god,
Bevins.
Sorry.
You're more hard ass than Bevins.
Yay!
You're one of the main hard asses.
Good. Good.
You run a tight ship.
I do. If you're late, trust me, I'll remind you that you were late.
Oh my god, I know. Shit,
You're out there.
I was
Wait,
a
she's
minute. I was a
texting.
minute late and pulling into the goddamn parking lot, and she was out there
Yes.
tapping her foot.
She was texting me
I'm
at
never late.
9:58. Are you coming?
Well, that's you. We all know you need that extra push.
Well, no.
I was walking in the door at 9:58.
No, you want to know? You want to know the best
there.
part? The next session that we had, she was 2 hours early.
That's right.
Because she had the time mixed up.
You've
Yes.
been a day early for me before. Remember that?
Did it count? I always think that's
But she
going to
brought
give
me
me
fruit.
like.
So
You brought something that day too.
That's
You
right.
showed up like the day before.
You've
but
got
at the
to
right
bring
time,
something
like
to the
24 hours
party.
early. I'm like, you're here really, really early, sweetie. Like, I'm gonna go home and nap and come back like before we do ours. But you're welcome to stay. These are some good questions. I like these. These are fun. These are fun. I'm gonna ask this one first because I just like this question. It just struck me. This is Allie. And this is for everyone, but I'm this is obviously directed firstly to you.
Okay.
Have you ever had any strange dreams about shows that you've worked on? And if so, what's the strangest one you've had? And that's for all of us, by the way, if you've got any.
I wish I could. I have really vivid, odd dreams. I've not had a show dream yet.
Any work related dreams though? That anime
Of any kind of anime.
Like
I
being in a
know.
studio and like all the microphones are coming after you or something?
No, I love it. It's so much fun. There's nothing. I usually have release dreams where things that scare me happen, and I feel like I would, and it's such a happy place for me. I don't dream about.
That's good. I guess that's a good sign.
I
So it doesn't make it
guess.
into your dreams because you're never.
No, but what was the random thing I told you a minute ago made it into my dreams?
that you got because production and post production are separated by many key things where you need a key card.
Oh yeah.
but
That's my
actors-
only one.
But voice actors are not really allowed on that side of the building, and
that's a pretty new thing. Back when I started in 1999,
what the hell's a key card?
not only that,
Back in the
there were
day.
like literally 11 actors and one studio, and to go from that to not being allowed in without a key card to actors can't come to this side of the building. Why?
Beating on the door. Let
Well,
me
then
in.
how come y'all get
That's
to
where
come
they
over
keep the
here?
chocolate waterfall, and we can't be trusted.
The chocolate waterfall.
That's the
It's like when Cartman goes to Casa Rosa.
Casa
Oh,
Bonita.
Casa Bonita. That's what they do. Yeah, they've got on that side of the building. They've got like the cliff divers and the sofapias, and it's good. But yeah,
No, but
actors,
no,
they know actors
apparently-
can't be trusted around sofapias.
So my only dream has been I got to get out of. I don't even know why in the dream I was on that side of the building, but it was again. I'm in trouble. I don't want to be in trouble. I got to get out of here.
They know. They can smell an actor.
So that's.
The Oompa Loompas
I'm
were coming
sorry,
at you.
Allie. That's all I got.
What about you, Tatum?
I'm trying to think. I've had a couple, but like they're very hazy. I remember having dreams about Samurai 7 when I was on it because I was very nervous while we recorded that show because I was so new to everything, and so every time I would go home and if I had some inclination of what the next session would be like I knew that there were several major turning points in the drama, but I didn't know exactly what the lines would be, obviously, because you don't until you get in the booth.
It's a cold read.
I
every
knew
day.
that because Clarine Hart played Rikichi's wife, Sanai, and part of the drama in that was that his wife had been kidnapped by bandits and he had kind of let it happen because he was a coward about it, and now that he was trying to get her back and you know all this crap had happened in between the time that she was kidnapped and he gets her back, and they have quite a bit of marital strife to work through, as you might imagine, once they come back together.
What are you
'cause-
talking about? My husband
you
let
know.
me get kidnapped and be like, "It's okay, baby, go refill the dishwasher."
and I knew at some point, I knew after we recorded one episode toward like the last like 8 episodes or something. I forget now where it falls in the story, but I knew that the next session was going to be the session where he and Sanai met, like saw each other for the first time in like years since the kidnapping, and I was like, God, I can't wait to do that. But man, I'm so nervous. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it because it's going to be really emotional. And so I had dreams about.
Wow.
I had a dream where Rikichi and Sanai like have this like moment and they look at each other and she's like, "Oh, it's all right, it's cool." And she like was totally like, "Really, you don't have to get emotional at all. It's fine. I understand." Like she took the whole burden of that drama on herself.
Here's my question: when you're dreaming about the show, are you in the perspective of are you a cartoon in the show? Are you your character? Are you seeing it as you're the actor in the booth?
It was kind of a mixture of both. Like remembering like that particular dream, it was both. Like it's some shots, you know, I'm seeing it through Rikichi's point of view, and through other shots, I'm seeing it from like an audience's point of view. It's very odd, but there's no real clear line. And there's been other shows that I had a dream about Shikabane Hime. Actually.
Oh yeah,
I did. That was after we recorded.
Was that the one where you licked my
really
feet?
night.
I bet it was
Yes!
that one.
Rika Aragami.
Oh yes, that was. No, I did not dream about that.
What are you doing?
But I dreamed about other things that I don't want to give away because it gives away too much of the plot. But there was a pretty intense recording session that afterwards I like got home and I had dreams about that for like a week, and just it was really.
I
But
don't
they're
know.
not really stress dreams for me. They're just for dreams. Usually in dreams, I usually revisit stuff that I really
How
like
fun!
doing.
I want to learn to do that.
And
I don't know.
It's totally accidental. I just whatever.
I have very funky dreams, but rarely. Usually, if I dream about people that I know in real life, they take on different characters. But I also like just see people and I kind of absorb them into my subconscious.
I have random
give them
vignettes
parts.
that aren't really full story dreams.
I have a lot of those too. Just the weird little set pieces. You're like, well, that has no plot.
Well, sometimes I feel like sometimes dreams kind of just are telling me like shit that I need to focus on. Like my octopus. For those who don't know, T.A. Taylor calls me Terry Octopus. He doesn't call me Terri Doty. Like I've got a very angry looking octopus on my right bicep. It's not. It's like I say, like it's all like fit. It's not really, but it's got my little like middle like crease. My little crease going. It's right there. But no, I went to a couple people because I was having constantly this. It's not anime related, but I was constantly having this reoccurring dream that there was this octopus on my arm, and like it just randomly got on there. But I was told like I can't get rid of it, and getting rid of it would basically be like me saying someone needs to find a way to kill me rather than take it off. And then I interpreted that and I read up on it, and the octopus signifies someone being very overly worrisome and worried about things that they have no control over.
Interesting.
So it kept happening. It happened for several months, and when I got it, it stopped.
Wow.
That's very cathartic.
Isn't it?
Neat.
But yeah, so like I have a lot of reoccurring dreams about this one story that I've been working on for about 6 years. But and it constantly changes depending on who I've met in my head.
I have a reoccurring theme where I'm traveling, and I've got a few different areas that are made up, I guess. Like, I don't know, but they're familiar in the dream, and it's the same layout of the house. Or there's always a body of water nearby that we're going around, or there's always something to do with there's always, like, nothing horrible happens, but there's always frantic, chaotic, we gotta, and why didn't we, yes, it's not horrible by any means, but it's just like, come on, why can't I be
It's like you can't relax.
chilling in my beach dream?
That's interesting. So it's like a dream where you're in a place where you ought to be able to relax, and for some reason you can't.
Yeah, it's like the trip. Nothing's going right, and well, we got to meet up with them. Where are they? And it's nothing horrible, but frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I had dreams. I won't go into detail because it would take forever. But I've had like a series of dreams that come and go. Like I don't have them every night, and I don't always remember
Same
my dreams.
with that one.
But if I put it all together, they make a really interesting story. Like if I fill in some narrative gaps on my own. Or
Cool.
consciously, I guess you should say. It starts with like people, like it starts with us being over to a friend's house who's just bought this new house and finds out that like this one like basement room, I think it's either a basement or attic room, has like another room within it that they didn't know was there. And that's kind of like built into the rafters or something, and we find that this room is actually a portal to this whole other world, and we end up going to this world, kind of, a la
So
Narnia.
basically, you've been able to continue the dream at random places,
because
years later you'll have it.
Yeah, because the same characters will crop up again, or we'll start at the same place and we'll go, and it's like me and this group of people in the dream, and there's half the dream is people, or like half the people are people I know,
and half of them
in real life,
you know.
and half of them are just totally
I love
my
that.
mind's invention, and they go, and like this other world we go to, it's like Narnia, right? It's got that same, it's not really this sort of magical woodland area. It's more like it's really this alien sort of metropolis. It's really, really cool looking. But we go there, and the place has got like multiple suns, and so there's never really but the suns are like there's really only one sun. Like I think the theme was like there's really only one sun, but they've controlled space time in such a way that the sun's always out.
That's pretty intricate dream.
And yeah, but there's like this whole intricate like social history that we learn about this place, and it was kind of fun. It's been going on for like 2 or 3 years now, so I write them all down and keeping a journal because I want to do something with it one day. But it's really cool. That's kind of
cool.
Funny. I'd never had dreams like that as a kid. Like I had your average everyday just weird dreams, but I never had dreams that had like a narrative arc that continued over periods of months and years. And this particular story has been going on for almost 2 years now.
Really
almost
cool.
2 years. It's kind of cool.
I find
it's very strange. It makes no sense.
I
but
love it
there
when
is some coherency.
the person in the dream suddenly is still that person but looks like somebody else. I love that phenomenon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we could keep talking about dreams.
I know that. Dreams fascinate me.
Me too.
They really.
This question or comment is from Alan.
Alan McCloud.
So I'm going to read a bit of this because it's big wind-up related, so I feel that I should ask it.
Big wind-up.
Let's see. I'm a huge fan of Cynthia's work, especially on Big Wind-Up because it's the best show ever, and Shin Shan.
I loved Big Wind-Up.
And Shin Shan.
I love Shin Shan.
My question for her is Momoe is probably the most baseball savvy character in Big Wind-Up. From plays to techniques to player psychology, she seems to know everything there is to know about coaching a team. Going into the role, were you knowledgeable about baseball at any level, or did you learn as you got along? And do you think you would make a good coach?
I love this question because my husband has the Rangers on every minute that they're on. And I finally had a reason for it to come in handy because although I am learning more and more, I can hear the commentators and know what they're saying and what that means. Mm-hmm. But more than that, I've heard someone say out loud the lines that were written in front of me when he's like, "Oh, you killed it," or anything like that. Just come on, you can, all the behind the scenes quietly to yourself. armchair coaching. So
Yeah, well, I think the first thing that, like, because I watched you, like, do, like, one of the big, not the Case Closed Kids, and then I went from that to watching you do Momoe, and the first thing where I'm just like, oh, this is hilarious, is when she squeezes the oranges and goes like,
I think I get typecast. Chi-Chi was my first character, and she was bipolar for sure, over the top, crazy, psycho, and I tend to get some of those, and it's really fun.
Isn't it funny now, like, that you're revisiting her?
It is. I know. I've had a character for 11 years.
Isn't that awesome?
I wish it would just keep going. I hope they find
like
new
your
ways to
cookie
make
here.
it keep happening. I know.
I was going to tell you this because you remind, especially with the orange squeezing bit, that we at Colossal Con a couple weekends ago. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh,
Gesundheit.
thank you. Oh man,
Salud.
allergies. But at Colossal Con, we actually showed. We had a big wind-up panel because they just were like, "Hey, you know," 'cause they had
Really?
it was like me and
I
Todd
don't think
and
you
Aaron.
told me that.
And it was kind of
cool.
impromptu. It just kind of we found out when we got there. Oh, we're doing a big wind-up panel, and so
This is
Todd, who
bullshit.
always
I
comes,
wish that
Todd, who
show-
always Todd, who always comes,
Tajima!
Todd, who always
show.
comes prepared with his little Mac laptop. I think it's a Mac. Had an episode to play, and we watched the first one. And most of the kids in, and it was a pretty decently filled room. It's like half full, but it was a big ballroom, you know. So there's a lot of kids, especially for like 11 o'clock in the morning. Had never seen it before, and just were kind
Did
of
they like
curious.
it?
They loved it. They were like, and Momo, it was like their favorite thing about it. Like she comes on, and she
I think if I was going to cosplay as anyone, seriously, it would probably be
like
Momoe.
so. I meant to tell you that, so I'm glad that came up.
that
because
makes
I'd
me
completely
happy. I
forgotten
love
about that.
the
I was still
show.
kind of asleep during that.
I love that there's a cartoon devoted to a sport that moves as slow as the sport does. I hate that it ends after the first.
Well, it's like their
Game.
second game or something.
I want to go
that
through
game
at
goes on
least
for
a
a long
season.
time.
I loved it.
Well, and then there's like just a couple. Like I love that. I remember when Bevins asked my opinion on some of the casting. Now I could have just been picking the same people, and he made me think that I was helping. But there was when he realized he cast the two adults as you and Chuck, and he's like,
Yes.
I just cast Shin Chan's parents.
That is so funny. You know what? There have been a few times when, like, if Chuck and I will both be cast across each other as smaller roles on shows that we're not regulars on, too. That's pretty funny. I don't even know if people think about it. That
This is a good segue into this question, which I thought was very interesting. This comes from Karen. Yay, Karen, who I love.
Oh, Karen, I want to
And
meet
first
you,
of all,
Karen.
she says something
Hey,
to me
Karen.
about my Converse shoes not fitting. She's the one that gave me those really awesome purple Converse shoes. that I
Yeah,
have
she just
on my
gave
little
Josh
display
Greeley
show.
some Kenichi ones.
Yeah, well, mine are awesome, but apparently somehow she's gotten the impression that they don't fit. And let me just disabuse you of that notion, sweetheart. They fit just fine. I just never wear them because I'm too proud to wear them, and
He doesn't want to ruin
I don't
them.
want to ruin them. I'm very proud to have them on my shelf of trophies, I guess you'd call it. So they fit perfectly though, because as you recall, I hope you recall anyway, that I wore them most of the con actually
right.
at Ohio Con. So they fit just fine. They're absolutely perfect and they're
This
beautiful.
The fact that you're even displaying them is quite a compliment.
It was like I'd never owned a pair of Converse before,
That's so
ever,
cool.
and
Everyone
she,
should own at least one.
Karen had, really sweet gal.
Karen
had-
is my girl. I've never met her, but she's a Chuck lady.
She is such a sweetheart. I love her
Chuck
to
lady,
death,
so I
and
love
she's
her.
so cool. And she like works at like like an outlet or a factory or something. Like it's something Chuck related. And
Are
she
you kidding me? For real?
when she knew that I was going to be at OhioCon last year, because I go just about every year, and she asked me, "Hey, I wanted to make you some Chucks," and I told her, "No,
That's
please,
so
don't."
cool.
Because I'm like, I don't want you to have to buy Chucks for me, whatever. But she insisted, and she said, well, she worked for them, and she wanted to paint them. So I was like, well, okay. So I reluctantly, and it's not because I don't like getting gifts. I just don't like when people have to buy stuff for me, because I'm like, you should.
Well, they don't
have
have
to
to
buy
buy you jack. They want to.
Yeah, I know. It's just for me. I don't like people spending money on me. That's just my thing. But I, in Karen's case, I relented because she was very, very sweet about it, and And the chucks she gave me were freaking awesome.
I believe we posted a video of it. Actually.
Yeah, there is a video actually of me getting them, and like,
That's
Chris
cool.
Ayers was there, and I was already up in my room, and he was like, "Karen's down here with your shoes. Get down here now!" And so I go down there and I get these shoes.
She made
in this
some for
box,
Chris too.
Yeah, she made some for because Chris Ayers got them in the same con, so we both got ours.
cool.
But man, my reaction, I was just giddy and laughing like a madman. I was so happy. I was like, "I have to," and they're purple.
I was going to ask what color.
They're purple, and she's got like Oron insignias and stuff all over. It's beautiful.
That's
but no,
great.
Karen, my love, they fit perfectly, so no need to redo. No need to redo that.
I love that. You're like, oh, it's an excellent segue into this question.
But the question she asks for Cynthia, which is really what I was going to get to. I just wanted to make sure that little issue was addressed first before I forgot what it was. And this is a really interesting question, especially when you talk about you and Chuck being cast like in little small in small parts. You know that people are like, oh yeah. But she asks, I noticed while looking over your page on Anime News Network's website that you've been in many shows as 1 and 2 episode characters. I would like to ask which of those roles was your favorite and most memorable for you. And she also mentions, I love your work. And look forward to seeing you in future stuff.
1 or 2 episode ones.
Any one-off characters that
There really
strike
was.
you?
Lupin the Third. I was at Diana
Oh, cool!
in 1 episode, and it was just she was kind of a little badass. It was very adventurous.
Yeah.
As opposed, I usually am comedic. And so it was
you're quite good at that.
Oh, you're sweet. But this was fun because it was one of my first times to get to be an action-oriented character.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Which Lupin was it? Do you know? Do you remember? Because there's been tons of them, but I haven't seen them all. I'll have to look it up. I'll find it on...
For what? What?
For the role she's talking about, for Lupin. Lupin the Third, rather.
I don't know.
There's tons of them, though, so it could
was
be. But
real early on.
Was it one of the series, or was it one of the movies, or whatever? I don't...
That's a good question. I mean, it would have been like 10 years ago.
So it's
9 or 10 years
probably
ago.
was a movie.
Real
I need to go check it out.
Sonny directed it. I don't know.
Because I love the Lupin stuff, but I haven't seen all of it.
It was one of the first things I did besides Dragon Ball Z, so it was a long time ago. I don't know, but it was fun.
That's awesome.
It was very James Bond. That's why I liked it.
The Lupin
I
series
love
is
that
really
no matter
cool
what
way.
I watch, I can always. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I always do this funny thing when I watch stuff I haven't directed. I always like name the actor out loud, and if I can't figure out who it is, it pisses me off.
You can
I'm like,
always
who
figure
the
me
fuck is
out.
that? But I always go like Cynthia.
Oh.
Like Heroic Age, you were Age's mom. You were the shit.
I'm
You were
lots
the-
of
you were
people's.
the
I'm
computer.
kind of out of the mom thing right now. I liked it. I
You were
liked
Benvolio's
being,
mom in Romeo and Juliet.
I know.
That's
I
true.
liked being the mom because there weren't a lot of mom age people. But anyway, they're maybe not the most interesting. Sometimes they are. Some of the moms are pretty freaking
Well,
wacky.
Momoe is kind of a mom.
Well, hello.
Oh, and Shin-Chan's mom. I mean, my God, what a great
crazy
comedic character that is.
Oh, I know. I do like being the moms.
Well, and then like your character in Shikabana Hime, you've got little Monica.
Yes.
So yeah. Well, wow. That's Steve Yurko's question is looking
What?
back at many of your roles in anime. You sure play a lot of moms. Does it feel like you're the official soccer mom of Funimation?
It sure did, but I tell you what, I haven't gotten a random mom role in a while. I hope they don't think I've gotten too old.
To be a mom.
I don't think they.
I was
think
one
they're
of
too
the
old, though.
older female voices, so that wasn't old, and so I think I was the first one they thought of for a mom, but also because it's hard for me to talk really high.
Well, you've played like little boys too.
And I've played little girls,
little girls too.
but
see?
it's much more of a stretch. What? You're making a
very
face.
talented.
No,
Okay.
I'm just looking. I'm
You're
looking.
very talented.
You know we love you.
I think there was something that after casting you as Rika, and I'm like, maybe I've pigeonholed Cynthia, like she has to have huge boobs in my
Short
shows.
hair.
And-
I love it. I don't care what gets me in the booth. Ageism, short hair,
Rika.
stereotyping, big boobs.
Rika in Shikabana Hime, she's like, okay, I need to have a bathing suit top,
For sure.
short shorts, and a robe, and some stockings, and some white shoes.
Wasn't it like a doctor's robe?
Yeah, it was like
COVID
Yeah.
doctor's lab
It
coat.
varied up, but then like the short boy cut. That out of some shots you're like, is that Ori? That's not Ori. Oh, that is a boy cut.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with typecasting. Like for me, it's always the glasses wearing characters that say smart things. It's
Really?
like, hey, is there a guy in this that's smart that's usually at the computer?
I don't care about
who's
stuff.
usually telling all the other characters what's going on, but himself doesn't do shit. Like, and he wears glasses, and he does that little thing where he looks down his nose at people.
I thought you did lots of roles that went,
That too. For a long time, it's kind of done in stages, and there's a lot of overlap. But for a long time, it was the bad guys. It was really oily.
smarmy, aristocratic.
Hit my mic, sorry.
It was smarmy, ostensibly gay villains, or at least a little effete villains who were like, oh hello.
It's not that I mind the typecasting. I mind when it quits.
Yeah. It's when the typecasting dries up. You're like, I know there's a glasses wearing character in some.
I know there's somebody's got a mom.
Why the hell ain't I playing him?
Somebody's a
don't be that
mom in this
bitch.
show.
I'm not, but it's funny. I'm always like, whenever
The glasses
you ever go, I'm sure when you're looking at audition side, you're like, okay, where's the mom? Okay, I'm going to try for that one.
Of course, I go straight for the mom.
Who's the character with the largest breasts?
I go for
Okay,
little
that
boys.
I'm always like, okay, where's? Okay,
I know. I don't know.
Where's the albino villain?
I'm in no way. I have no idea, really, honestly, where my voice lies. I'm a horrible judge of my own voice. I have no idea, so I try up. I'm like, anybody, I'll do it.
That's a good place to be, though.
Hi. And there's so many girls that do such a good job at it, that do better than me on my best day, that it's like, I don't want to waste my time. I figure most of the directors, it's rare that we probably surprise you with the role if you've worked with us before. I would think that a lot of times you might know, I would like to hear her read this and that, or I know she ain't going to be that. So if I just know for sure what I'm not going to be, because I want enough time to really work on the ones that I at least have a shot on.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'll tend to gravitate and be like, I can try this guy, but I know this guy is probably going to be more my speed. So I'll try that instead. Heroic Age was a big one where, for example, where I was like, I didn't even try out for age. And I wrote most of the adaptations for that.
You weren't going to, but they made you,
I
right?
wasn't going to, because I was like, that's not, I don't think I can do that convincingly, because I thought, well, I'll read for...
I forgot what your...
I played Age, the little kid.
Let me hear.
In it, he's like, what, 17,
Yeah.
16, something like that, but he's really like 109.
Okay.
He's got
17,
but
little
he got the body
dirty
and the voice of a
He's a
little
teenager.
dog boy. He's a teenager.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, and I wrote the adaptive scripts, or at least a good portion of them, months before, and while writing them, I thought, I don't know that there's really a character in here for me. That's one of the main characters, because I was like, well, there's that character, but that's not who I wouldn't pick me for this role. I wouldn't pick me for that role. But you go and you read for whatever's in front of you.
Yeah.
And the one thing I skipped was Age, because I thought, that's going to go to someone else. That really should.
And you got cast?
And then Joel was like, I want you to read for Age, and I'm like,
See, Joel,
Really?
He does a good Joel.
and then what's your
I
And I read for Age, and it was funny because the voice that came out kind of surprised me, and Joel was like, "Cool, thank you," and I was like, he was just being nice. And then
You
he was
never
like,
know.
And then like a week later, he was like, "Oh, by the way, you're coming in," and I was like, "Oh, cool. Which one am I playing?" And he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna believe this," and like he waited till like I came in. He's like, "You're gonna be Age." I'm like, "You're kidding me? Are you kidding me? Age, really?"
do it.
That's cool.
Do
I
it.
can't even do it anymore. Like I've kind of lost the ability
Your
to do
voice
voices
has gotten
consistently.
pretty low.
It's gotten low over the past year, like because I've done so much stuff. My voice has just changed.
Mine's gotten lower. I think
But-
doing the raspy little boy voice kind of pushed it.
Scar has pushed me a lot.
I mean, I can do Age a little bit, but there's still, he sounds a little older now. He sounds like...
Now we really
he
do.
sounds like-
We do the high
Yeah.
pitches to
Sounds
freak
like-
out our significant others because,
Yeah. My significant other,
Joshua.
Joshua, hates when I do this voice. It freaks him out. Steven! Hey, sweetie, can you give me some ice cream when you
Oh
go
my
to the store? And he's like,
God.
No, not if you're gonna do that
Yes.
voice. Stop it.
I'm that way. My husband has characters that he does just to fuck with me, basically.
Yeah, that's one of the best
And
parts of
I've
being...
got some where I'm just like, no.
Most of my
I can
voice
do
is
that
Steven's just
voice.
like, please. And I'm just, oh,
If I
come
just
on,
do-
baby.
Or if I do a redneck voice, like we do like
Yeah.
a serious redneck voice,
He's
that
got
freaks him out.
smarmy, cheesy, parting dude, and he's got
Hey, baby, what's
he's
up?
he's got a bunch of them, but yeah,
Smarmy,
The high
cheesy,
pitch.
smarmy,
Monster.
and cheesy.
yeah.
And then there's douchey.
Yes, douchebag. I guess.
I don't hear what.
What? Hey, baby.
Ew.
That's a nice tattoo you've got on your bicep. Is that
I know. No. No.
cuttlefish?
But no. I'm not a really good person to hit on. Even Terry single, it was just like hey,
no,
hey, dude, what
I
the fuck are you staring at? They're like, dude, he was like hitting on you. I'm like, oh shit. Fuck you!
Fuck you, call me!
Pussy!
Fuck you, call me!
Fuck you, call me, asshole!
What a douche.
I'm pretty sure the first time that Wendy and Jeremy Inman talked,
Jeremy Inman.
I'd worked with him, and obviously I already knew her, and there was something he thought was funny. And the first time he met her, he's like, "Hey, I heard you're a crazy bitch," and she's like, "Oh yeah, you want to see how crazy I am? I am." Look, I mean, they have never met. They're yelling
Crazy
across the parking lot in character voices.
Oh my god.
In her fever demon voice.
I totally believe this. Every word of it. I know it's true.
Jeremy and I had the same hairdo for a very long time. We did.
Oh, Jeremy Inman, who was a funny, funny man.
Oh, he's one of the funniest people. I love his mixture of silliness and then complete cynicism. It's like the silly cynic.
Yeah, a silly cynic.
He'll giggle like a little girl and then say something very cynical.
Like, we all die alone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's called cynicism.
Yeah.
That's just life.
All right, so we have a question from Jillian.
Hello, Jillian.
And I'm probably going to pronounce this character's name incorrectly, so feel free to jump all over
We'll
my
see.
face.
What is it?
But Jillian says, "Hi, Cynthia. I'm a huge fan." It's like huge with like 8 U's in it.
Yay.
Of your work as
you.
Botan?
Botan.
Botan. Okay, Botan.
Botan.
Because it was a flawless performance.
You're
flawless.
so sweet.
I loved it so much, little heart. But I was wondering, how would you compare her to other characters?
I loved Botan. Botan was a perky Grim Reaper.
Nice.
I liked her. She reminded me of, in the movie Always, Hap, the character, Audrey Hepburn's last role that she played.
Oh.
Just very, very sweet and perky, and I just loved her. She's one of the few. I mean, she doesn't have a love interest. She's not a mom, but she is a mother figure to Yusuke. So in that way, and she did have some powers. I got to do a little bit of fighting, and she got to have gadgets. I loved her. She was very different from anybody else. She wasn't a mom.
Isn't there a request in there?
Jillian also goes on to say, "And if possible, could you say bingo?"
Bingo.
As
She knew exactly
like-
where to go.
that would make my life, she says. "And do you want to be my evil twin?"
Of course.
There you have it.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
Aw, you're so good. See? Do you do a lot of conventions?
I've only been to one convention. I
need to go to
know. In Dallas, like in hold on now, 2001.
Holy crap.
2001.
Which convention was it? Do you remember? Was it Anime
That
Fest?
one, that time.
Acon,
That one,
Anime
that
Fest,
time.
There's been a few. Anime Fest has been around for a while, so it would have been around in 01.
I really don't know.
You should go to more. You would love it. And
I
the kids
probably
and the,
would
I'd say
love
the kids,
it. I
there's not
would
always
love
kids,
it.
but the fans would love you.
I would love to do it. I'm kind of shy. I don't feel like I have good BS with I was real shy in the personal signing. Tell me this or say a line, and I couldn't remember the line, and I don't. Luckily I was working with Sean Schimmel and Eric Vale, who had fantastic BS, and so I didn't
They're
have
good.
to feel
They're very good
stupid.
at
I'd be like, ah.
Not very good on the fly like that. Just wow.
Yeah, they were working it.
I think you'd find you'd adapt.
It's just amazing.
Because I did. I was terrible at first when I started going to cons. I was so on the spot. I didn't know what to say.
I don't know what to say.
I was so grateful to be
This
there.
kind of setting's not scary because I am comfortable chatting with you guys.
Yeah,
so it's
you know
not
us.
like, yeah.
We're not like a room full of people going, "Hey."
I don't know. I mean, I've only been to one con, unofficial, and it was unofficially, but like Chris Ayers and Josh Greeley like made me get up during a Q&A. Anime Overload in Austin this August will be my first official con as a guest.
It'll be my 12th so far.
This year?
Well, I've really only been going to cons for the past couple of years, really, and so I'm still relatively new. I mean, as far as you know, some of the, I mean, I'm nowhere near the con veteran that say the Ayers brothers or Sabbath or you know, many of the others are. But I feel like I'm going to get there quickly if I keep going. It's right because it's fun, but I love cons. I mean, they are so much fun.
I hear great stuff about them. I do want to go to some.
You have to be the right person for it, though. I mean, I imagine if you go. You know, if you just go and you determine to have a good time, you will have a good time.
Oh, I think I would have a great time.
And it's just one of those things. I'll let go and you know, you get surrounded by people that you know you meet. I mean, I've made so many good friends that I only see on the concert. Cool. You know, either they're on staff or even just fans. I hear
great stories.
You know, that have become good friends of mine, and it's fun. And I used to be so nervous at the prospect of being in front of, like, you know, a bunch of people.
Because it's different when you're performing. You know what you're performing. You're in your little safe space, you know, with the fourth wall. Yeah. But just you as yourself is like, oh.
But I found when I get in front of a room like that and it's just improv, or not improv like in this, like a, you know, like say that sort of thing. That stuff freaks me out. But it's just me talking. I could totally do that.
You're a good talker, though.
You're doing it now.
I know. And I found my niche. I was like, I'm a talker.
Maybe you should have a podcast or something.
No, that's crazy.
That'll never work.
Cynthia Cranz, you're
crazy.
I always use it go like, Cranz, you crazy. You crazy.
You say it a lot.
Because it's funny to me. I don't know why.
I started calling you craisins while we
Craisins.
During Romeo and Juliet. Because I found a package of craisins. And that was my big thing. I'd go around.
Well, they would always be giving away craisins because no one wanted to buy them.
That is so funny.
I would buy Cynthia Cranz craisins, though.
And I would try to give them away to people that came to the studio. And then no one would be like, no.
I think
craisin.
Somebody calls me, Hillary calls me Cynthia Hands because in a Wallace session, I always do whatever I see on screen, and we run a lot. And I'm also put to the back because a lot of the girls are little tiny petite pocket people, so I'm at the back.
I always put in the back. Yes.
So my hands were a flailing on a couple of different people throughout the session. Now I'm Cynthia Hands.
I think I always end up screaming, like maybe making the other girls in the booth.
They made
deaf.
somebody turn around and talk I know. Anthony Bowling got asked. Anthony,
I love it.
And it was like Kaysen. Kaysen made him turn around and talk to the corner.
I don't know. I've got weird nicknames for all of you, but like Anthony Bowling, like I think of all the obvious names that you could give someone with the last name Bowling, but I call him Bolio.
Oh.
Like polio for some reason.
Yes.
And you're
Anthony Polio.
You're Cranz.
Crazy Cranz.
You're crazy Cranz. Oh, you crazy Cranz. Kind of like you. Yeah. You crazy.
You crazy.
You're Tatum.
No, I'm Tatum.
Like, no, I don't do that.
I'm a superhero.
Well, actually, I say what I call you most, like when we're talking or when I'm talking about you, I refer to you as loveliness.
That's true.
Loveliness.
I'm lovely.
You are lovely.
And like Steven, like my own husband, I call him like fucker. Or no, like Steven, or like my better half, but I always do like the finger quotes.
Hey everyone, this is the old ball and chain.
My favorite quote for your anniversary tale was when Steven asked what do you want for our anniversary? You're like, stay married.
Well, that's easy. I can do that.
Pretty low maintenance.
I'm not a romantic at all. I'm not. I'm just not. I mean, we got married around the same time, you and I. So, like,
I am. We're going to go have some good eats. I'm not so much a romantic as I like to celebrate. I like to have fantastic dinners.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I love that.
I like mine.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of us that got like married around the same time. It's funny, though, is the last time I had you in, you're like, our anniversaries are coming up. I'm like, They are.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Bastards.
We'll see how long that lasts. Well, we are going to take a break.
Break time.
Ow.
And we're back from break.
Hello, everyone.
We
missed you.
Hello.
This is the obnoxious or the microphone. Hey.
Hello. I don't know what we did. We were munching on popcorn. What happened? We got more questions during the break.
Questions.
Now, there are a couple that we have. I mean, as far as questions, I'll go ahead and let you guys know. We've had a lot of similar questions that we may have already answered, so please don't be hurt if your question or comment isn't said.
Yes, because if we didn't choose it, it's because we felt we're answering it with the other questions too. So we are paying attention. We're not
Let me see.
ignoring.
We had some cool randomness. Let me see.
I love the random questions.
They're the best.
All right. Let me see. I find Tara terrific. Miss Tara Caraway's question. Blah 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 blah. She's one. There is currently there's the second season of Big Wind Up going on.
There is?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. The crap you don't know. Okay. I just realized how perfect casting you as Momoe was. It's wonderful. How was it working on Big Wind Up, and what's your favorite show you've worked on?
That's so sweet. Okay, I'm so stuck on the compliment that I'm not listening to the question.
It's like, I've been complimented and
fade
gone.
out. Okay, read the question part again. I really was.
Tatum's got him now.
It was
Just
serious
go.
questions, right? It was a big wind-up question. Like she was saying,
what's my favorite episode?
Yeah,
What's your favorite
what was
part
it
of
like working on Big Wind-Up? Like,
It
what
was
your
just
favorite
a
part?
blast. It was fun because she's thinking most of her lines to herself, and so
That's right,
it's like
everyone's got at
she
least 50
so
mentions.
wants everybody. She's so freaking passionate about baseball. And, that was fun to play a chick that's so into it that she's working an extra job to spend money to make the team
Right.
better.
She was like a windshield.
I mean,
Windshield?
and my
Oh,
husband
like a window cleaner,
is
like one of those
so
high-
that
I was
way,
trying to
like
think of
in
a
his
better
heart
term.
for the Rangers that I've
window
heard it
cleaners.
so much. It was like I felt it. It was just fun.
Yeah.
Plus,
Well,
it's a different topic than any other show I've worked on. And the little guys were hilarious.
Yeah, they were.
They really were.
So let's see, this comes from. This is a good one. This comes from Kyoko.
hey, sweetie.
Question for Cynthia: has anything changed in the way shows are dubbed since the days of Yu Yu Hakusho? Also loved you as Botan.
Aw. So much has changed. When that show started, we were still on VHS, and we would have to stop and rewind.
Oh yes, yeah.
So that's
I've
the
heard
first
stories of
big
these
We're
thing.
so lucky, Tatum.
Yeah, we are very lucky.
I mean, so that's the first
Digital.
thing. The second thing is that most of our shows are in a different type of studio. Some of them are still in the old-fashioned ones. That's okay too. Another thing is we used to have actual paper scripts. Can you believe it? And now
I
everything
remember
comes
paper
up
scripts.
on the computer.
You got
So really
two
a whole lot has
screens,
changed.
But you guys still did do that. I think we talked about it, or we did mention it with Monica. But did you guys still have the 3-beep thing? Obviously, that's where it
I mean,
originated.
the way of doing it that you don't know what's happening in the show except in your scene, and that you don't know what you're going to say till they. And a huge other thing is they would never show you the Japanese version. You didn't get to know. They would say line 21 and go.
Really?
And you would
Wow.
just try to go. And then it only about 5 years ago, I feel like, is when everyone started showing you the little scene first, or at least the line for timing.
So they've
and
always done that.
It was
since I've
very
been in, so
rare
that's-
that they would even consult what they do in the Japanese. I remember them going, if they couldn't work out the line, they go, let me hear it in Japanese. And so that's huge.
Yeah, you hear
I
me
didn't-
say that every 5
I mean, you would
seconds.
literally be
Yeah.
going, wow, okay, line 22, let's go. We'll see what happens.
Let's do this.
That's kind of that's.
I don't know what face
was-
she's making.
Why? Do you know why that was? It was because it was just difficult to splice and obviously into
Good
like
question.
rewind and stuff.
You
with
know
the, with
what?
the tapes,
That
or-
probably
or-
is the reason. I really don't know. I'm
'Cause
sure.
it's so easy to go
We're
back and forth
talking
now.
10 years ago, so a lot has changed.
Yeah, a lot has
technically,
changed.
plus
Yeah.
it's owned by a bigger company
can't
now, so it
imagine.
can afford
Sure.
stuff.
I can't. I just, as an actor, just being used to doing it the way I'm doing it now, I can't imagine like.
Flipping through the script, you have to. Okay,
Well, I remember.
fine.
See, I remember.
Okay.
I remember having only
Oh,
one
you
screen
can't
and the
imagine
scripts, 'cause
it always
'cause
being
that
a
was
literal
there.
cold read, not knowing what's happening.
And that I never had the experience of, because I was always like, because I started with Bevins, it was always like, we're going to watch, the entire scene, usually, sometimes the entire episode. in the Japanese first,
And that's how-
and then we'll review it again and again and again for each line. I mean, that's always been a part of
And
it.
I've only had one person do that for an audition too, and it helped. Shin Chan was cast straight off of a voice match, and then I didn't hear about it again. And it was so weird because we had lines from some other show, so they would play the character. You'd see nothing. You just hear the character voice, and then you'd say lines for another show. But before you jumped in the booth, they showed you, so you saw. And then Todd does, when he directed, he would show you a little bit of what you were gonna, before, and it was really helpful to see it.
So yeah, I've always. Now I do remember paper scripts. The paper scripts were.
Don't
the
you
first
feel
couple of
weird even
years.
saying that? It's so
Well,
weird.
and then hold them
Not
together.
It's
implying
considered
that
an
they're
old thing.
paper scripts.
Paper.
Paper scripts, and they always held them together. They had a little
Back
music
in Art
stand.
1,
Yes, back in
2001.
we have.
back before we had the internal.
I know, I can't say
combustion
Ot
engine.
anymore. I'll probably never be able to
I
say
loved
again.
Art.
Ot?
Yeah, like going, it's
Ot
2009.
1, Ot 2.
Oh, 2009.
2008. But now
love
it's
that. I use it all.
2010.
Oh, no.
Bastards.
Bastards.
How did we not see it coming? Oh, okay. Let me
Y2K.
see. All right,
Did
this
I
is
answer
from.
that question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you did. I think. Yes.
Well, I mean,
So that was
in a
supposed to make
way-
the difference.
We
Okay.
answer everything that we ask, but
Okay.
maybe not in the way that we want it. Okay, Young
Very
Money
political,
Charles. Let me see. Which character performance have you gained the most pleasure from voicing out of everything? 11 years.
11 years. It has to be Mitzi because I guess it's because her voice is so not mine that it's just, but it's not a painful voice to do like a little boy or little girl. But I can never believe what I get to say on that show. And I'm always laughing so hard
Oh
at
my
what I'm
God.
seeing and what the other people have said before me. A lot of times I have to go first, which is not as fun because
You have no one to play off of.
no, but it also sometimes it's distracting because you can't not laugh when you hear what they just said. So I mean, it's like I would pay to do it if that was the only way to do it. It's so fun, and that's how I feel about every role you've ever directed me in, Terry.
It's always a party.
You. Crazy Cranz. Cranz, she's crazy.
Yes. Now, this is a question from Jack Cox, our buddy Jack. And this, I like this just because I'm a big fan of the show too, and this is one of those shows that spans many years. In fact, as I take out the mic again,
We're all hitting
we're
our
all
mic.
just like now.
Well, we flail. We
We're gonna
flail.
sit back down
Actors
after
have a
break
hard
and say that
time
we
being
hate these
still.
microphones.
We really do.
But anyway, so this question, and because we were talking about like the differences in like the recording process between then and now, but specifically, Jack asks, how has the recording process for Dragon Ball Kai been different from Dragon Ball Z? And I'm sure by process he doesn't just mean technical,
Right.
but like everything
Yes.
else, the experience. Talk about that a little bit because I'm a big fan of that show, and I'm very excited for the dub.
The process has been different in every form because it got passed around. No show has been around so long, so no show's had more directors, but now it's back with Sabbath.
Yeah.
And now, when last time I worked with him before this, so much has changed that we are approaching the characters differently.
Yeah.
I think they're a little less cartoony. And we still want to keep the trailer trash aspect, as he likes to say, to Chi-Chi. He wants her to be, she's trashy. And sometimes they wanted her to be more motherly. Some of the other directors like, no, we got to get her back to rough. She's rough. And so unfortunately for me, she's a little sideline character most of the time, and so I didn't get to enjoy the benefits of new technology and all that as much as I would have liked to, but it's always fun to do.
Did you see the live action movie? Dragon Ball?
No, I heard it was being made, and then I never. Did you?
I saw it with
Is it so
Clarine
bad?
and Mike McFarlane.
Was it funny?
There was at one point Chi-Chi's introduced, and Mike McFarlane, he's been pretty good at just like making little jokes and being like, but he goes, "That's Chi-Chi," and we're like, "Shut up, dude! They're gonna know. They're gonna know."
What were most of the people doing? Did most of the people dig it, or most people like, eh?
No.
All 6 people in the theater.
Because it
There were
can't compare to the
We were 4 of
anime
them.
version.
Doesn't at all. It's like they kind of went, yeah, we seen it. It's all like, green dude, got it. But that's what.
Because it was a big deal.
I finally got to watch a couple of minutes of it while I was on the road, because it was on television when I was at the hotel, I think, at ASIN.
You'll have a good laugh.
And it was hilarious. And I'm like thinking, this is this is terrible.
It is. They should have let us dub the voices for the live action. That's the only way it would have been.
No, the live action, even with you guys' voices, would have been
we've
horrible.
all occasionally voiced really weird live action.
I just did yesterday.
I've done some live action. It's so fun.
And
Yes,
Leah
and you've
was
done-
in the booth.
Oh, Leah Clark.
Yes.
Oh crap! I was going to ask you another Dragon Ball.
I know. Well, I love it. I mean, it was my foot in the door, and the only and I almost didn't go to the audition because I thought I had nothing to bring to. I was like, I've never done this. My friend Warren worked at the Observer, the Dallas Observer, and he placed one of the ads that Funimation put in for a casting call.
Oh.
And he kept bugging me because we worked together on the Bobby Jack Pack show, which is a comedy sketch show, and he was like, go do it, these people are crazy, you'll love it. And I finally, the third time, went, and it was a voice match to the Canadians, but then I totally changed it once I got the part. But I remember getting so much flack. The fans were so upset with a lot of the stuff the Americans did. I remember that being the big back then.
That seems to have gotten, compared to what it used to be, the flack, it seems to have decreased quite a bit in the past several years. I mean, it's still there, and it will always be there.
Sure.
It will always be there, but it seems to, because I mean, I remember being a kid and watching anime, like on VHS, and you had to buy it, the dub version, because there wasn't.
You remember being a kid, and I remember doing that.
No, but I mean, this was
recording it with
far,
VHS.
no, but I mean,
How
this was long before just 10 years ago. This is like when I was, in
real
my
kid.
teens. So like, we're talking early 90s.
Okay.
And late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, right? Shut up. And the Cosby Show was on the air live and whatever. But
Who cares?
Friends.
that was later.
Oh, that was later.
Friends is 94-ish.
Okay.
But no, back in the day, you'd have people that just hated dubs in general because, for whatever reason. Because, I mean, a lot of the first fans that kind of brought it over here or made it, or kind of formed the market over here, I think, this is just my own supposition, I guess, found it appealing because it was exotic and foreign,
right,
and in a language that I'm assuming many of them knew, and so when dubs started trying to make the market a little bigger by appealing to a crowd that didn't like to read subtitles,
right,
the original, I guess, fans over here that were used to the Japanese just kind of, I guess, started that current. I'm assuming this is how it evolved.
I could see why the Japanese people who are used to that version would be upset, because I know we changed a lot of stuff, even if we try to keep the whole feel. But
yeah,
I would think they wouldn't even want to watch it. I guess it wouldn't even be something we'd have to worry about.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you see that be a lot of the common complaints is, they change so much to fit the flaps, like they're slaves to the flaps.
Yeah.
But it's also how
you have happy mistakes. I've had some of the funniest stuff ever happen, especially on Shin-Chan, when you just are forced to work with the flaps given. You do have a lot less creative freedom.
Yeah.
You can't just be what you say a line how you want it, but sometimes it forces really unexpected things that you would never have come up with that are brilliant.
Yeah,
I like that.
I've had some things like that happen before. I'm like, I would never have thought of that read on my own.
Or that word, or that. And see, I have awkward inflections, and so I often need line reads because mine are just sometimes different.
No.
Or sometimes you have to inflect differently just to make it fit. It's weird. I've learned that I'm a hanger-oner to the last part of a word at the end of a sentence a lot.
What do I say to you? I'm like, take out the Texas.
I get that.
Get that. I do that. I try to make sure I know like where
Zach
everybody's
has to
from.
tell me not to hang on to the word so long.
I don't know. And I get criticisms, things like that I do have.
Well, I mean, everybody does.
You do. Yeah. We all have those things. You're like, no, you can't do it. I'll get. There's a particular melody I like to. It's not really a melody, but the kind of the shape of the intonation. I'll kind of. There are some reads I'll just be like, ooh, I really like saying it like this. And,
Yes.
and suddenly every read after that becomes the same. Like if I can fit the same
stuck.
melody, I get stuck in a melodic pattern,
yes.
And that's usually if I'm recording in a vacuum and don't have like the other actor's performance in there yet to
And
play
if you
off
have
of.
to say something a few times, then you can't even tell what you're saying anymore. Like you have to. You probably don't
now
have
it's
this
just
problem,
totally
but when I'm on like
Oh, no,
take 18, I don't even hear it anymore.
Like, I
I'm
don't
just
even know the
like,
meaning of what I'm saying anymore. It is like looking at
well,
your
you
watch
can't, we're
and
like,
not
was
being
that
able
all
to tell
one
what time it
word?
is.
And what word was it?
What word was it?
I've been to that point where I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying
Or
anymore.
you're just ad-libbing it, or like mad-libbing it rather, so it's like you'll
Mad-libbing
change
it.
one word that makes no sense anymore. Like, we've got to get to the tricycle. Wait, did I say tricycle? I meant plane.
Or I take out and
That didn't
add
fit.
things like I take out and add words accidentally.
Oh, I do that.
I
I do that a
change
lot.
words. For some reason, I cannot say weird.
So what do you say?
I don't know.
Xiao.
I say strange. Oh my god, clean that it's another commercial thing where
what's going on here?
two spray bottles are talking while like the real like Mr. Clean thing is
Yeah.
spraying. And he's like,
Okay.
oh my god, dude, he can even clean a shoe. And he goes, what do you mean? What's a xiao?
We love that for some reason.
Now I'm thinking of
Do you
Family
remember
Guy.
the commercial with the talking stain and the guys getting an interview and the stain?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Every time the guy tries to talk,
Yeah.
he's like, and as you'll see from my resume, that was really, really funny the first time I
Yes.
saw that, and then I was
Oh my
like,
God.
what the hell?
I never quit laughing at it. I'm sad that I don't.
I'm sorry.
Well, we're bringing up like commercials. So, oh my god. Yeah.
There's like there wasn't there like, and there was also there's a Family Guy episode where like the insurance adjuster has no concept of like, it's like, but yeah, of course he burned his home down, but I mean, why would he do that? He only took out like a such and such policy. Like, but the end, he's like, he finally gets it. He points to the guy and he's like, sir, I know what you're doing, and apparently it is what's called insurance. And he's looking at a textbook. Fraud?
I haven't seen that one.
It's really funny.
Fraud?
This is a textbook example of insurance.
Fraud. No, the xiao.
Chow. I haven't seen that commercial.
I don't know. Commercials. They've made it easier for me to sit through. You know, like if I'm watching Doctor Who on BBC America, I've got to sit through a good chunk of commercials.
It sucks having to
But so it's like these better be good. And most of them are. I really like
I love the Old Spice.
The Old Spice. The one.
Spice.
The guy
Look at
where.
me,
Look at your man. Look at me. I'm on a horse.
Oh no!
Here's 2 tickets to the thing.
There's a
below.
new one. I forget the actor's name, but he's in Idiocracy as like the president of America. But it's where he's like,
I'll lock money.
blocker, and he's like literally fighting the words like blah blah blah
Okay,
blah,
I'm
and then
gonna
he
have
makes
to
his
Boobs. Move.
yes, his man
His
boobs like
pecs.
bounce and goes like and then that's the end of the commercial.
I'm gonna have to watch BBC America just for that.
That's really, really funny. Bah!
Well, no, like there was Well, that's what he did. He went ba 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 ba. Tom, this is such a lame conversation. Like,
sorry.
other commercial.
It's
Come
great.
on.
Now we're talking about commercials. I pick commercials apart because I'm
I
such
like to add morbid endings.
or I'll do that.
do?
Or be like, who are they selling to? That
That's
doesn't make
really
any goddamn sense. You
They're
know,
so
I'm such a bitch about it
stupid.
because I worked in advertising for a long time, and I by no means
Well, and whenever
was I an expert.
But I'm also
Clearly.
protective if Mitch is like, I hate that actress. It's so stupid. I'm like, she A, didn't write it, and B, didn't direct it. I promise you, he made her look that stupid.
It's a director's fault.
Because also, in commercials, when these ladies look like frumpy house moms,
Someone
they go
okayed
to
that.
work. No, they make it happen. They find the frumpiest hairdo, put you in clothes that are shapeless, but they like the texture and the colors, and they don't want you to look good. They want you to just look like a frumpy mom. So anytime somebody's on your nerve, and it's your job to be professional and put your vanity aside and go, okay, I look 15 pounds heavier, and that's a really awful hairdo in my makeup. Really? You bet you're being paid to do your deal.
Yeah. It's a job, so you can't always come out of it looking like a
I never do. Anytime I had any exposure of any kind, it was always the weird, silly character.
Oh,
it's funny.
How did you get into acting? Like, how did you find your way into it?
I just would do monologues in my room for fun. I would buy books for actors in college.
Okay.
In high school, I was in drama, but
drama.
I didn't really, I didn't do much with it. We had a shitty teacher.
We apologize for the little Dolby moment there. Sorry, didn't mean to totally bulldoze your story. It was just funny.
Then we didn't have a very good theater department at the time, so I lost interest. At Grapevine High School.
Oh.
And I understand it is very good now, that department. Anyway, now it is.
Implying.
Once you're gone,
So in college...
No, mine's gotten worse. Mine's has gotten worse.
Classes.
They miss me there.
My hands would break out in a sweat when I would watch a live production because I wanted to be on it. So I just started auditioning for stuff.
That's really cool. So you would sit down and watch, and would you get...
I wanted to be up there doing it. More theater than movies. I mean, I never wanted to be a movie star. I never wanted to be famous. I wanted to be...
Well, was there something about doing something live?
I wanted to... It was more like, I want to do that. I don't know why, because I'm shy. I mean, not when I know you, but I'm not hey, how you doing? Yeah. So, look at me. It's just, there would be some role that I'd want to do, and my hands would break out in a sweat, and so I just started doing it. It took a long time.
I'm curious. I mean, like you said, I picture you out in the audience just kind of wanting to do it. Like, did it start with just like you thought it looked like great and you wanted to do it, or were you just watching a play going, dude, that's not how I would do that.
Well, my whole life, my mom...
do it like this.
Well, no, it was more like I want to be up there doing it. No, I wasn't picking it apart. Okay. I just grew up going to my grandmother and mom took us to, Casa Manana. I grew up going to, or any big show that would come through Dallas. And I grew up listening to musicals on vinyl. And I would sing them, and I actually took singing lessons for years because I wanted to do musicals, and I sounded okay until my recital at age 25, and I got all nervous and my voice cracked, which I didn't know could happen. I didn't know it would tense up and change it, so I'm like, fuck that, I'm not doing theater. I mean, I'm not going to do musicals, and that's okay. That's all right. I just have always loved theater, but I don't know.
Do you still do theater?
No. I will again. Right now, having a day job. I mean, if I found something great and it paid, to where it made sense. But I found myself in my 30s looking at my watch, being tired after working all day, making next to nothing, going, I could be getting my laundry done. And I was like, I just got burned out.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to it.
Actor's life is hard.
I don't want to struggle for my art. I don't. I love it, but I'm not that committed.
Yeah.
I'm a real estate agent too, so I don't have to suffer. Yeah. I don't want to suffer. I didn't want to go to New York. I worked on a film. In college, they filmed something in Mississippi, and I was a stand-in, and I was around the whole LA scene, and that wasn't for me. I was real turned off by the way everyone treated each other, and just, ugh. And then I went to New York to look at schools, and I had a pit in my stomach. I'm like, I can act in Dallas, and luckily, we do live in a market where we can act. I just wanted to act professionally.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to depend on it. But I didn't want it to just be a hobby either. I'm like, I don't know what.
That's a very sensible approach too, though. I mean, I think just from my own experience. I mean, I haven't done stage work in years, and I've never done it professionally. I'd love to, but I could never. You just can't. It's being an actor is just too tough to make a living at.
It is, really, and if you're working all the time, you're exhausted because theater is exhausting. Mm-hmm. Well, and film, 12-hour, 16-hour days, and commercials are not fun, but they're relatively good bang for the buck. I need to do voiceover commercials because that's a really good bang for the buck.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's at.
you trying at it more?
No, I'm in between agents. I have made a lot of changes in the last couple of years. I took a break. I need to redo all of my marketing. I need new headshots. I need to update my resume. I don't have a demo. I have all the stuff. I have never put it together.
You don't have a demo.
I have never put together a voice reel of any kind. I've nothing.
A demo.
Nothing of any kind. And I'm like, I'll get to that. Tomorrow looks good. And then I just never. So. Also, my agency died. And so by the time I found out, because I was off getting married, I figured most of the people were already absorbed into the market. And I thought, I'm going to wait till it gets busy again because everybody's probably, got enough people. So I'll take my time.
Sweetness. Well, you're very talented. I obviously think you're very talented. So.
Do go on.
I love you. No, you're extremely talented. I love working with you.
Sweet.
I love your
working
voice.
with y'all.
And you're just a sweet person. And you're fun, and you're funny, and you're professional, and that's a very good combination in my book.
Well, I feel like that with, not to be cheesy, but really there are very few people I work with at the studio that I don't have fun. There are very few people that I'm like, I have to work with.
Because I think
even on a serious show, it's funny. At the end of the day,
you got to be comfortable.
It's absurd,
and
it draws a really interesting mix of people. Techies and little hippies, actors, musicians, and it's funny who's real quiet. The people on the other side of the building where we're not allowed to go. Back in
there's like bar
9, when we could go in there. There really is a sign that says no actors beyond this point. Anyway, if you did, but they do.
It says no.
Okay, I read it differently.
You read it differently.
I did. So, but they still come into our crappy little break area, and when they do, I'm like, hi, and it's like they scurry away, like one of us is a roach, and I'm like, I don't understand it. And then you have the actors that are like, oh, hey, never met a stranger, golden retriever, just, hey, what's up, la 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 la, and the musicians sit there quietly and tap on their keyboards. They're usually the engineers.
Well,
I love it. It's a great mix.
We were working, and Steven was kind of standing next to Chris George, and I looked as they were talking, and I went, you guys are wearing the same shorts. Like, engineers kind of dress alike, especially Steven and Kenneth.
There's kind of a uniform.
Yeah. The engineers, you have to wear, most of them wear
long
black. Long shorts.
Dark t-shirts.
Usually a band t-shirt of some kind.
Cargo shorts.
Cargo shorts. Or fatigues.
If they're wearing glasses, they gotta be
a lot of river sandals.
Yeah, a lot of sandals or glasses.
I think Patrice leads the flip-flop pack.
Patrice is
very
so
happy.
sweet.
Patrice is awesome.
Patrice, it just acts like opening the door is the biggest privilege of any. She's so, hi, let me get that for you.
She's awesome.
She is
so
sweet. She is so.
She's great.
Yes,
we love our engineers.
We do. Engineers
they
are
do.
awesome.
So it puts an interesting combination of three people in the room. And this is was kind of off the wall and off the subject. My sister lives in Austin, and she has a music company, and right now they're looking at different talents. And one of the bands she's courting, she was hanging out with them, and they're called Stone Honey. And she called me, and she's like, hey, I'm hanging out with my buddy Phil. And she goes, you know Justin Pate, right? And I go, yes, I only spent, for 10 years ago, countless hours, just three of us in a room.
Yeah.
And it was just a small world, because he was friends with Justin. And
he knows a lot of, we know a lot of the same people, because I met Justin Pate. He
knows Ringo Starr.
Yes. He's played with him and Ben.
Yeah, Harper.
Ben Harper. Yeah, some said Quiller, but yes.
But Phil didn't know what was happening, and he just happened to turn it on and catch him on there, going, there he is. On the Tonight Show.
No, Justin, he keeps getting more work. He also plays with Pablo and the Hemphill 7. And he used to play.
Okay, is the Hemphill 7 related to the 7 that were with Ben Harper? The something?
No.
That is weird. I thought they took a couple of those. I don't know what band were the two that went with.
I just know Justin. I don't know. which is awesome. Yeah, he had to quit being an engineer because, I love that Bevins is like, oh, what am I going to do? Tell you no? Don't play with Ringo Starr? Go!
That is okay. I didn't know that was what he left for. Somebody said it kind of. I thought snarky. I go, where's Justin? He was just gone one day, so he goes, oh, he had to go be a rock star, and
they weren't being.
And I thought they were taking it like, good luck with that. And so when I heard it was big, I was like, well, good. He deserves it.
That person wasn't being mean. Good.
Yes, we'll have none of that.
Yeah, no.
But he was gone. He disappeared one time during Yu Yu Hakusho show, and then he came back last. Was it Wind Up or Shikabane that he came back? And he was just there one day, and it was dark, and I finally looked at him like, Pate? Yeah, oh hey, I didn't think you'd recognize me. Like, why? It's been hundreds of hours adjusting my levels.
Yeah.
I know what you're
doing. Yeah.
These
are all people, you spend enough time in the booth with them, you're like, I know all of you in a heartbeat
really
from a mile away.
Yeah. I love it when the engineer feels like they can kind of contribute to.
Oh, and because they have their own, I mean, they've got good eyes too.
Oh yeah. Engineers, I've always treated my engineers like the co-pilot, if not really the pilot, and I'm just like the air traffic controller. or whatever. Yeah, because that was the first thing I learned about, because Gino was my first
Gino
engineer, and we were an awesome team. We were an awesome team, I gotta say, because he brought, he kept the crazy in me at bay, he knew how to work around
he's
that.
He's so mellow, and you just look up and you just see, and he'll make faces. As the actor, all I see is faces, and sometimes I can hear what they say, and sometimes they take that ability away from me. I'm like, why did they decide right
then? Oh, you know what you need to do? Click. You're like, oh, she muted it. Damn it, what's she saying? And you try to read the lips, but all you see is our eyes.
No, all I see is Gina going. He has a funny smile when he makes it almost a rectangle.
Yes. the crazy smile.
I'm loving the hair.
The crazy hair.
Crazy
but
hair.
he was my first engineer, and it was always said that I may be directing this show, and it was always I said something to the effect of what's the quote from Apocalypse Now, and he's like, it may have been my mission, but it sure as shit was his boat.
That's hysterical.
That's totally what you feel like with a good engineer. You're like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just in the studio.
Zach and Peter for sure. Peter will go. He's like, That's funny.
Well, yeah. Well, obviously, Joel and Steven.
The married couple.
It's funny, though, is someone asked me, they're like, well, I think it's kind of funny that you and Steven haven't been teamed up. I'm like, you say funny, I say good.
Well, yeah, you spend enough time together.
No, it's going to be like, what if we don't agree on something? It's like, no, look, it'll fucking fit. String it!
Well, plus, you don't want to come in between their...
No, but that's the main thing. Is I don't want to break up. I don't want to break up Joel and Steven. I don't want to be that person.
How could you come between that?
I wouldn't be that person. No, they're
Joel.
They're too perfect. Steven. But yeah, obviously
They're a very quiet booth. There's not a lot.
It's Joel goes with his eyes, and Steven goes.
Yeah, they don't even have to say anything.
They do. They've been together so long now that it's they've got that sort of booth telepathy that you get between a director and engineer, where they're just
booth telepathy. And then I like it when the ones, the ones that sing, like Jason Grande. Now, did he get that from Mike?
I don't know.
Or did Mike get that from him?
I think Mike might have gotten that from him.
Mike does that, and I think Mike might be the first. Grundy is probably where that comes from.
Because Grundy worked with
his
Mike
engineer
for a long time
before he went on to direct. And but Monica does that too. When Monica directed, she would
most of the girls would go
most between takes, and she'd sing jingles.
Most of the girls do. Yay! Okay, next. I get lots of.
They'll sing.
What am I like? Damn it, Cynthia! No,
you're very much a guy's girl. You're the Elaine on Seinfeld. I like the Elaines.
What am I like?
You're a ray of sunshine.
Oh, shut up. It's just that's not an answer.
That comes after a huge
that's not an answer.
You're a blast to work with. You're very happy, and what's fun, everybody has their different way of getting stuff across. Mm-hmm. Some people will make the face, and they'll show you the face they want you to sound like. Bevins is Cynthia, look at my face. This is the face you would be
It
making.
needs to be, the line needs to sound like.
Some people just flat out line read, and that's cool. My job is to make the director happy. I do not get offended at line reads.
I don't either. I mean,
Some people try so hard not to give you one that you're finally
as a
like,
director, I
just
try
give
not
me
to
away.
give a line read unless
to.
it's just the shortest distance stream. But sometimes you just do. I mean, a good actor's not going to be insulted by that. But I try to depend on it less and less. But I'm a ray of sunshine. You're very sweet.
You are.
I'm very chatty. That's my problem.
Yes.
I'm very chatty.
Yeah.
Very, very chatty.
Most of them are. Zach's not terribly chatty. Joel's not terribly chatty. Tyler's not terribly chatty. Kaysen, it just depends on what's going on.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
a lot
so
of
that
it's
was
like,
on
okay,
blast.
dude, we've got shit to do. And he's like, damn it, we do, but I want to keep talking.
Jokes. He is one of the funniest people to get in the booth.
Who is this?
Kaysen.
Oh,
Kaysen.
is he
my
hilarious in the
God.
booth?
Well, during Rin, he likes to, like, after the take, like, say something silly. And we're like, you know what? Guess what? That worked. Boom. It didn't
Good.
work.
Well, he's just funny. I love it when mostly I do wallop for him, and I just love his expressions because he knows I'm one of these people that snaps my head around after we take to see stuff, and he totally takes advantage of that. It's fun. It is fun. That's the thing. It's a fun ass job. There are so many different personalities, but it's a unique blend. I need a swirl. I'm not all artiste. I could never be in a corporate environment. So it's like this.
It's a nice,
swirl
sort
of
free
creative,
form
yet
mix.
professional.
Yeah, everyone's very professional up there, but there's you've got the different personalities.
It's not uptight. It's very rare. The people that were uptight to work for generally didn't like directing and don't do a lot of it.
Yeah.
But usually it's pretty.
Find a good mix between uptight and like.
Well, yeah. I mean, you want to do good work.
You have to have
You've
a
got to
little
run
bit
the
of
show.
uptightness, but
Yes.
yeah, but you can't be. You know,
Well, we had we have an intern right now that, I got asked, they're like, would you mind if she sat in with you? And I'm kind of like, oh, you have no idea. Yes. I would love to be on the other end of this, finally. And she took notes and everything and made me very nervous. Very nervous. And I'm like, that was me.
Wow.
But, there's a couple parts where, like, I was directing Chris Burnett, and she's like, why does he sound so familiar? I'm like, probably because he does anime, which you said you've watched.
That's hysterical.
But then I was just like, oh, because Chris Burnett and I have this thing where we always do these very effeminate, like, valley girl. Like, oh, God, you're such a bat. She's like, you are a slut. It's very weird. You should hear it. Like, he only does it with me. He's like, I just love that you make every word have at least 3 syllables, even if it's like no. It's like no.
I love.
She went. I went like, oh, Romeo, you're so charming, and she went. And I went, oh, God, here we go. And she's like, you were Romeo? And he's like, and Chris had never run into that. He's like, yeah. And he got like very...
Walks through the door.
Oh.
That's cute.
But yeah, it was very weird to be on that end of it and have... I'm like, I just want to let you know that out of the directors, if you watch any other ones, they're probably not going to do it exactly like I do because I have extreme OCD and I like to label things and highlight and all that
There's probably
stuff.
a reason they picked you. They probably wish people be more like that.
Well, everybody's got their own little method because
Little
obviously
thing.
everyone that's up there and has been up there for quite a while, so they've all gotten into their stride.
It is funny though, and I was wrong. Bevins was with Justin Cook. That's where I met him doing Yu Yu Hakusho. Not Mike McFarlane.
Bevins was engineering.
Yes.
Okay.
He was engineering and he was still in school
Yeah.
when I started working with him. He was a young thing.
Now everybody's got like these random different like spots now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well,
That's
like
cool.
McFarlane was talking. He's like, yeah, when Jason was my engineer, and I kind of went like Jason
Grundy,
Grundy. Okay, because I'm just used to everyone calling him Grundy. It's just like when people call Tatum. Obviously, that's his last name, but when people call Tatum J. Michael Tatum or Michael, I'm like,
J.
who?
Michael Tatum.
Who?
I love when people call me J. Michael. It's just so funny. Like,
J.
I'm like you can
Mr.
just call
J.
me
Michael.
Michael.
Mr. J. Michael.
Or they call me J is the weirdest. I've gotten used to it though because they'll treat J like the name J, not
Right.
just the initial, and I'm
Hey,
like,
Jay.
why did I ever use the initial?
Wendy K. Powell.
When
Wendy K. Powell.
I like K. Pow. That sounds
K.
like
Powell.
You two are hilarious.
onomatopoeia.
Or I was telling people about that one time you walked in while Wendy was doing a walla for the sexy show. And I'm like, well, that's Cynthia. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, awkward.
You're awkward.
You're awkward.
You're the...
Girls.
The
You're both
awkward
awkward.
store probably wants you back.
Thought we'd play it up. You know what? I don't. Oh,
Well, on that note,
awkwardness and all. Well, I'll go ahead and make a couple of things because I've been so bad about updating the site, which thank you guys for being very patient about it. But upcoming guests in July are the return of Joel McDonald
woo!
and Tamir Robinson,
Woohoo!
and the return of Tia Ballard.
Yeah.
I just met Tia. I just met her yesterday.
It's fantastic.
She is.
I was with Leah and Tia. Imagine that's
right.
And I'm
Leah and Tia.
Cynthia.
Yeah.
On that goofy note, I'm out.
Love that I have you, my
We never
dear.
meet. It's really you rarely meet other actors unless they direct you or you're in a group session.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Tia's awesome. I'm glad you met her.
me too.
Not a lot of girls up there know her yet, so I'm like, we need to make Tia hang out with us. They're like, who?
Yes.
I'm like, Tia Ballard. Then
Tia Ballard.
Tia Ballard.
Make her hang.
So yes, she's very excited about coming back, as is Joel, because he was like our second show, so we've changed things a bit.
Yeah.
And Tamir is nice enough to not immediately deny my request.
He's a great guy.
I'm
very,
really excited.
very,
And
very
Tamir's
talented.
very
And
nice.
Yeah, but remember
that'd be a
also,
great
I'm
idea.
sure none of you remember this, but yes, Aaron will be on next week, and that's going to be interesting. So,
We
yeah.
forgive you. We will please forgive us in advance for how long it's going to take to download an episode once we get Aaron Disney gone. You crazy, crazy fan.
Well, I said
Who
just
we
gonna be
love.
so many questions. for
Oh,
him.
who knows? Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that. Here we go. But yeah, that'll be next week.
Aaron Disney. I've been with him at enough cons now. I see what happens.
Aaron used
He's
to
a
work.
force of
He had to
nature.
quit working. He used to work at Roy Pope, which is this little old-fashioned grocery store
Oh, okay,
down the
yeah.
street from where I live. And I would always miss him. And I'd be like, "Is Aaron in today?" And no, I'm like, "Well, tell him Coach Mo said hi." And I never got to
Coach came by.
I never got to see him.
Aww. That's okay. Well, maybe he was there. He was just like supporting the ceiling with how tall he is.
He probably thought, "Sure, she is. It's a crazy fan that's tracked me down."
Like you're just trying to kidnap Aaron Disney. Where is she? Where is he?
I need Mitch. How are we going to pay these bills? I know.
Let's get
We're getting Disney.
there's a sketch comedy moment in there somewhere.
We'll find a way. I don't know. But yes, I'm out because I'm all sorts of random. I'm getting ready to bowl.
Yeah, go
All right.
bowl. I'm gonna go to a crawfish boil.
Are you? What am I going to do? We're just going to hang in and make fajitas. We're pretty lame. And then tomorrow I'm going to
Fajitas
eat again with one dad, and then I've got my stepdad. I'm going to go
I
eat
totally
Mexican
forgot.
food. I'm
Yeah, tomorrow's
so I'm pretty much
Thursday.
going to eat for the next 24 hours.
Have fun with that.
Have fun with
shall.
that. I'm gonna eat and probably drink a little too. So
Oh, well, of course.
All right.
everyone,
Well, yes, on
be
that
safe.
nice weird note, I'm going to say bye.
bye.
See ya.